Attention to the speakers up front, and let's get started. My name is Karen Maxwell, Plan Section Chief Trainee. Welcome to the Ops Briefing for Sunday, August 22nd, 26th. My son's birthday was the 22nd. It's been in my head all week, so I apologize. So Sunday, August 26th. Just a reminder, I want you guys pay attention to the objectives for the operation as you're out there every day. And just briefly, I'm going to kind of run through them. First of all, we want to make sure that you're providing for the safety of firefighters, responders, and the general public by identifying and mitigating hazards through accepted practices and operating guidelines. Protect life and property by pre-positioning resources and utilizing local resources in direct attack through safe firefighting tactics and keeping losses of property as minimal as possible. Assure that the strategy, tactics, current and predicted weather, fire behavior, and hazards are clearly communicated throughout the incident. Establish unified command with local, state, private, and federal cooperators whenever possible. Conduct all operations in a safe, cost-effective manner while promoting mutual respect in an atmosphere free of discriminating or harassing remarks and behavior. I think that those are great things, and I think that I've seen that at the time that I've been here. And as to weather, we're going to turn it over to Tom Bird so he can give you the current situation. Thank you.
Hey, good morning. Incident Meteorologist Tom Bird. And here we'll start out with the current satellite imagery from this morning. And what you'll note is a lot of clear skies across much of Texas. We do have some storms in northern Mexico, streaming some clouds over West Texas. And then these are all debris clouds from storms that were in progress overnight, streaming across the Panhandle and the North Branch. As we saw yesterday, this picture doesn't show everything. These yellow areas are areas of low clouds. There's some fog across South Texas here with some of this also. There's no storms really in progress. There was a light shower near Houston. There was a storm well out west, just east of El Paso this morning, but that's all dissipated. This is a look at lightning for the last 12 hours, and you can see this is all the activity that was ongoing late yesterday and overnight. We had some storms, a lot of storms move across the Panhandle branch. We had some showers down around Houston, but no lightning associated with that, and you can see that here with the precipitation map over the last 24 hours. This area right here to the north and east of Amarillo, there was a 1.13, and then the highest I could find was a 1.17. Those were kind of isolated pockets, but there was a fair amount of half-inch, three-quarter-inch, quarter-inch readings with rain gauges up in this area. This was all very light and spotty down here along the coast, so there wasn't really any significant rainfall associated with any of that. Then we had some out west in the Davis Mountains and north and west of that area in the West Branch. Here's the 7-day precipitation that we've had across the state going all the way back to the 18th through yesterday, and you can see this area of light blues and whites is expanding across east and central and even into northern Texas as we start to drop off those days that had rain going back a week, and we're piling in new days that didn't have much rain. We're starting to see that footprint that we had with good rain with that last storm system start to diminish across the state, so those effects are kind of going away as we have this hot, dry weather over us. Okay, here's the highlights for today and going forward. The hot and dry pattern continues over the area. The high pressure ridge has slipped off to the east and weakened a bit, but there's still a ridge extending over Texas, and that continues to really influence the weather more than anything else. It's still going to be hot, still going to be dry, and still going to be breezy. Not quite as hot, not quite as dry, and probably just as breezy as we've seen in the last couple of days. And if we look forward out a week or so, we really don't see a big significant change in the pattern, meaning we don't see a lot of relief in sight. Here's the weather pattern that we expect to see this afternoon. That trough slung across West Texas is the responsible feature for keeping us breezy in the afternoons, and we'll see that continue again today. The monsoon moisture plume is on the back side or the west side of that upper ridge, and so it'll continue over New Mexico and stream across parts of West and North Texas. And then we have an increased Gulf flow thanks to that high pressure moving off to the east a bit, and that'll help us get some showers along the Gulf Coast this afternoon. So here is the forecast radar look at this afternoon and where we think the storms will be. And you'll note down here along the coast and up into East Texas and down into South Texas in these coastal plains areas, we expect isolated to scattered showers with some embedded isolated thunderstorm activity. And then again, we'll see another round of storms and showers out west with the monsoon track. Here's the temperatures for today. Not as many 100-degree temperatures on the board this afternoon, but we're still in the mid to upper 90s, which is still a couple degrees above normal. As you go east of this line and to the south, that's where we have the humidity and the high temperatures, meaning we'll have those heat indices up pretty high again. The relative humidity, this 30-degree line is shifting a bit to the west as we have this increased moisture coming in off the Gulf over East Texas. So we'll be in the 30 to 40% range east of I-35 and generally in the 20% range to the west. Winds. Not a whole lot of change in the pattern from what we've seen the last several days, mainly south-southeast over much of the state, and then going southerly and maybe even a little bit of southwesterly as you go north into the Panhandle. The breezy conditions will be through South Texas, central, northwest, and into the Panhandle. And here's where we think we'll see the precipitation this afternoon. The chances are fairly good along the coast and not too bad up in northwest Texas. But the central portion of the state will continue dry. And going out 7 days and looking at what the models think the precipitation will look like across the state, we continue with this huge area of Texas that doesn't appear to be getting any kind of rain whatsoever. The storms still streaming across the west and a lot of storms coming in off the Gulf, giving probably the better precipitation to extreme southeast and in the upper Texas Gulf Coast areas. And that concludes weather. We'll move on to operations now.
All right, good morning, everyone. Rich Gray, Operations. Yesterday was a fairly active day across the state. Had one new start in East Branch. They got that wrapped up yesterday. We did wrap up the Bailey Road fire in Northwest Branch. And Central Branch had one new start in Llano County, the airport fire, 501 acres, sitting at 90% containment on that. Task Force 4 and Task Force 3 IA'd the fire. Task Force 4 will recovered back to Fredericksburg and be available today, and Task Force 3 will be staffing the airport fire. So kind of a look at yesterday's activities. Going forward, slight reprieve today, hopefully some higher humidities that'll help the guys on the airport fire, maybe keep IA down, but with that, everyone needs to keep their situational awareness up and plan for IA based on the continued drying footprint. In the IAP, you'll see the folks that are demobbing, and also we're backfilling some resources, having some trouble filling some resources, but hopefully we'll bring those staging areas back up to full staffing by midweek. Also for tomorrow, we're opening another staging area down at Victoria, so that'll have assets there again to look at that increasing dry footprint that we're anticipating. So again, today, keep your SA up, plan for possibly long drives to those IA fires, and y'all have a great day. Thanks.
Good morning, it's Mickey Button, Safety Officer here. Glad to say that over the last few days we had no accidents or injuries, and like I said, that shows that you're doing a good job in the field. You're paying attention to what you're doing out there, your situation awareness is up, and everything. Today will be my last day here. John McGee will be taking over about mid today. He'll be the safety officer here for the team starting about midday today. As the IMAT said, it's going to be continue hot and dry. Since I've been here, we've gone from hot to, I think, sizzle to shake and bake, and then back to hot again. So just remember, it's ever how you pronounce it or say about it, it's hot and dry out there. That means that you're going to need to drink the water and take your breaks and cool off out there. And the main thing is for everybody to watch out after everybody else out there. That's the main factor out there on that. Work times, as Rich was saying there that, you know, we are out there, so we're smaller in size, so that means we're going to the fires and we're spending some time out there. We have to go back the next day, so if you work at night out there, just make sure you do the 2-to-1 work ratio. The big thing, again, will be the transition. Tomorrow, we'll have 3 of the safety officers are timing out in the field, and they'll be coming in here and demobbing tomorrow. We'll leave us 2 safety officers in the field. One will be in the south and one will be in the central. And if you need, they'll be to run with the branches out there more than anything else. If you need a safety officer, just call John McGee here in the ICP, and he'll get a safety officer on the fire for you out there. His number wasn't in the IAP today, but if you would, it's 520-591-2434. Any questions, safety? Thank you.
Well, good morning. Les Rogers, IC for the team. Yesterday we were talking about, we noticed as everybody briefs and goes to meetings and stuff, everybody always says, have a good, safe day. And our IMET, Tom, pointed out, have you ever noticed everybody says, have a good, safe day? And that could be complacency too. That's just what we say. So maybe a good thing is to plan for the unexpected and hope for the best results. No, hope is not a strategy. So we want to make sure that we have the best decisions out there, and we make sure that we plan for the unexpected, and that we try to make the best decisions out there. So with that, everybody plan for the unexpected.
All right, today is also my last day, so I'll take just a moment of indulgence to thank you all for letting me be here with you. I've appreciated it and learned a lot and enjoyed it. Make sure you turn your phones back on and go out and plan for the unexpected. And have a good, safe day too. Thanks.